It appears the drop around here has broken. So I didn't want to plug in the one microphone just in case you could hear that beautiful sound of rain that we haven't had around here for a while. Okay, as far as the last video that I made, where I said it had an unknown outcome, I kind of know the outcome. I can't tell you, but at least he didn't get thrown in jail. So there's that. But he went to my favorite town of Canton, Ohio during Pro Football Hall of Fame weekend and didn't know it was Pro Football Hall of Fame weekend. How can he not have known that? I don't know. That's when the city inflates to, oh, God knows how much bigger, with all these outsiders and Frank Gifford, not Frank Gifford, Al Michaels comes to town and all that. But anyways, now last night was eventful because let's see, it's just so confusing now that I'm on this roller coaster ride thing. See, today is a Tuesday, I believe, so that was a Monday. So he was missing like all weekend, and I was worried about him because the last time I saw him is when I pulled his arm up over his head and was shaking him around like a rag doll and stuff. And I was worried he went out there and took that frustration on somebody else, got an assault charge or something like that, since he does have those tendencies. But so the first time I see him, he's knocking on my door, and I can't wake up for some reason. I open the door, nobody there. Lay back down, fall back into some stupid dream that makes no sense and is irritating. Knocks on the door. Get up, and I open the door. He's not there. And I'm like, wait a minute. Pull the blinds. He's sitting out on the porch and he's waving and he's got a smile on his face and he's in like a super good mood. But it is well before noon, and so it's like he put limes and salt in this Modelo beer or something. Man, I don't know. I tried it. I didn't do nothing for me. I said, let me see what that tastes like. I don't, just out of curiosity. It's like, why are you putting limes in beer? But I was like, I'd rather have the beer straight. I don't like alcohol anyway. But that's actually from upstairs. I thought it would start raining harder, but it's just because there's a hole in the wall. So anyways, so I'm go out and I'm hanging out with him and he's in a good mood. He's in a good mood, and then he starts thinking about things. He starts getting in a progressively worse mood. And then he's like, why don't we play some poker? I got a card table. I don't care. I'll play your poker. He says, I'll be happy to take your money. He's saying, poker, trash talk. Everybody always does. And I said, I really don't like playing poker with two people, though. It's really, my dad used to call it bumping heads. Never seem to get anywhere. And he goes like, we're going to get somewhere. I'm going to take all your money. So we're playing, and he just thinks that he steps on his cigarettes. And he goes over and he starts beating the shit out of the house. Like, boom, 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 boom. I said, did you check your cigarettes? Because he had a little baggie of roll-ups, and he's looking at them, and there's like, none of them was stepped on. So I stepped on the plastic and beat up the house for it. And I think it was a draw. But the next time they got angry, he took a L because he does elbow strikes like the LMAO guys. So he elbow striked some concrete and got cut. And then we're playing, and he's like, I gotta go get some more beer. And he's already had, I don't know, at least a 6-pack. I mean, I don't know. But I was like, okay. And then he gets this look in his eyes, and I can tell he's like real combative. Well, besides the subtle hints of beating the shit out of a house, and then cutting his elbow to where there's blood dripping down by bashing a forearm strike into a concrete post. That's a concrete pillar that's holding up the porch. But yeah, there was other subtle clues that he was in kind of a dangerous mood. Uh, so he just gets his flash in his eyes and he goes, okay. And he throws the cards out on the table and he says, draw one card each. Whoever gets the highest card takes all the money on the table. And so I draw a 7. He draws a 3. And then he punches his fist all the way through the table that we're playing on. And the money goes flying everywhere. And there was like two, we can't find them anywhere, but there was two like Sacagawea dollars, I think they're called. I don't know. But I couldn't find them. The money went flying everywhere. They were probably out in the grass somewhere. Trying to use a metal detector to find them. There's like an area where my niece was planting flowers and stuff. It probably flew into. But I'm like, I'm not picking up all that change, bro. You know. And then the table was still upright, you know. And there's his keys on the table, and he was a lighter. And he's like, man, don't reach for that lighter. And I reach for that lighter. He says, do it again. Just do it again, you know. And I reach for the lighter. I'm like, dude, I'm not afraid of you. I faced down death too many times to be afraid of you, Chris. And anyways, uh, so he grabs the table and he just throws it. He just throws it out in the middle of the yard. He threw a chair out there and he's throwing a bunch of stuff around and stuff, you know. Then he goes and he picks it back up and he says, I gotta go upstairs for a minute. He went upstairs and I was like, oh, let's see if I can pick up what coins are here, you know, all the nickel dime. I think we're playing up to $1 bid, and which people always make me laugh when they say nickel dime quarter poker. I could take $31 off of somebody in nickel dime quarter poker, man. They're like, oh, that's just penny ante. This is no big deal. No. It can be a very big deal if you know what you're doing. But anyways, so he lost all his money off of one thing of the cards. And I'm like, well, you know, I was like, take this $3, man. And go be you. You know, because I think he started me out here. He staked me $3 or something before I dug into my own money. Anyways, I forget how it worked out. But anyways, the point being, as he left down the road, and I was talking to him, and I said, "Go do what you need to do." And he's like, "Don't talk to me like that. I'm not your father." Before the end of the night, I ended up being his father though, because I'm sitting there. You know, it's about 25-minute walk tops, because he's banned from this one store, so he's got to walk to this other store. So I'm just sitting there like an asshole, waiting, and I'm waiting. Then it gets dark and the mosquitoes start biting me, and I'm waiting. So I turn off the music, and I open up the computer, which, by the way, he knocked over, not this computer, but another computer. I was like, that's a $200 computer he just knocked over. And he's like, oh my God, you know, because he knew I'd definitely make it pay for that. You open it up, and it works, and it seems to work fine. And that's a digression. Backpedaling in the story. So I see him march off into the distance, and before he marched off in the distance, he rolled a thumb-sized blunt, walking off into the sunset, like Clint Eastwood with them little tiny cigars, except for it wasn't so tiny, and it wasn't really a cigar. And so I'm sitting around, like I said, like an asshole on the porch for a while. I open up the computer and I just start watching baseball in the dark, you know, and mosquitoes start biting me, so I go in and get a shirt. And I was waiting there, you know, I don't know, it could have been an hour and a half, it could have been 2 hours. And I'm like, well, I'm going to pick up all this stuff and put it in my house. And I'll fold up the card table with the fist hole in it, and I'll put it in the hallway. And I'll get his weed for him, you know, and I'll take care of that and get everything all redded up and everything. And I put a sign on the door. And like, maybe 11:30 or so, he is just beating the fuck out of my door like Mike Tyson. Like, what's the meaning of this sign? He says, or something like that when I open the door. Something along those lines. I said, I just took your stuff off the porch. He goes, man, man, he just ripped off his shirt, wrapped it around his hand, and just started punching all the mailboxes that are paying the machete against in the hallway and stuff, you know. Boom, bang, pow, boom, boom, boom. And I was like, come in here and sit down for a minute. Chill out. And so what's he do? He sits on my scooter that busted up my leg. And I'm like, oh my God, please don't let the key be in the ignition. Please, please. Because I was sure he's going to fire it up, throttle it in the house, man, and just bash it into the refrigerator or something. So, but actually the key was on the seat and he was sitting on it, so he couldn't have done it. But then he punches my scooter, which pisses me off. I said, what the fuck did you just do? Are you going to disrespect me like that? You need to get the fuck out of here. I don't care what kind of mood you're in. But then he was like, all right. He started walking out. And then he's like, yeah, you might as well take a look. And there's like four houses down. There's like three cars. And they're, of course, walking our way. He said, they sent three of them. And I said, why don't you get your ass inside and let me talk to them first? And I wasn't going to lay hands on him because then there would be like a fight for sure, you know. Because I guess that's what he was doing. He was walking around wanting to fight people. Because he went to some bar and watched the Indians game and forgot all about poor little Stevie Pooh on the porch. Poor little innocent Steve watching the Indians game from yesterday. Um, so I can't get him to go into the house. I can't get him to go into the house, you know. And then they tell him to sit down out there. There's either 5 or 6 cops, at least 5, three cruisers. You know, could be probably 6 would probably be accurate. They usually ride double. But anyways, one of them calls me inside and he's like, "Man, what is this guy's story?" And I was like, "Oh, you know, he's got to, you know, he was in the war, and I'm trying to like campaign for him." It's like he was in the war in Afghanistan. You know, he's got the PTSD and stuff. And I was like, "What was he doing? Is it a D&D situation or what was it?" And he goes, "No, he's just walking around yelling, wanting to fight everybody." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, well." And then he's like, "Oh, cop goes back outside. I'm opening the door and I'm, you know, listening to him." And cops are being pretty cool with him, you know, because he didn't really do nothing except for like challenge people to fights and be loud, obnoxious, and drunk. So one of them says something to him, and he says some stupid comment to him. And I said, "Listen, he's being a professional. Show some respect, you know. It's better me on that, and you know." And the cop's like, "Yeah, you better listen to your cousin." And uh, so um, everything was going to be cool, you know. I was like, just let me get him inside, and you know, get him in bed and let him sleep it off. I mean, I don't know what kind of thing we're looking at here. They, you know, cops are weird. They never like spell out the charges. It seems like about even what you do, let alone what somebody else does. Uh, but um, so 4 of them are walking away that I saw, and the 5th one is still looking at me. And then he's like, "That's it. You're going to jail, man. Get down on the ground." They got him on the concrete on the porch, and they put the zip ties on him and stuff. He's like, "Man, don't hurt my dick." And you know, and I was talking to the one guy, and he said that I talked to you before. And I was like, "Well, what's going to happen to him? And what's the charge?" And he goes like, "We're just going to take him downtown. Really, we'll probably release him tonight into your custody if that's okay with you, or we'll keep him, depending upon how he behaves." And I'm like, "Well, I'm not going to stay up all night, but I'll stay up a while. And you bring him back, I'll sign whatever." So it took about maybe an hour to an hour and a half, and they brought him back. And this guy's like that much taller than me, and he was the guy they got pissed off, and he did not want to. I could tell he didn't want me to sign those papers. And I was like, yeah, give me the pen, you know. And then he held the door for me, and I signed on the door, and signed in a couple of places. And they call it like taking custody of somebody. In other words, like you're responsible for their behavior. I think I didn't read it or anything. I just wanted the night to be over with, the whole day to be over with. So, but he's all cheerful today, and everything's all good. You know, it's all good. So hey, whatever. Uh, the rain. I thought we'd get some nice ambient, peaceful rain sounds coming in through the window, but not really. But yeah, um, I found out somebody around here's got a big mouth though, because um, I don't know how my landlord got the case of the stupids or whatever and didn't check up on what's going on, and he don't have me to tell him what's going on around here anymore. Or I could have told him that you are having a guy sign a lease for a year to an apartment you're going to rent to him when he don't have no job. So I made the mistake of texting that to the other guy in the building, and then he narked him out, and then it got around to Chris. And I'm like, I got to be honest with you, man. I didn't think he'd do that. I was like, I just wanted to go over there and get that scooter, because he could have gave me that scooter back that I tried to have fixed on Saturday. And I was just, wanting to wheel it in my house because I got to get pictures of it and stuff to make an ad. And yeah, I guess he knocked him out, or he was just like, that was the main, when I was texting dude in the wheelchair, that was the main thing. He's like, he ain't got no job, he's renting too, because he lives over top of him. I don't know how loud he is or whatever. I know he's very loud when he's hitting things. He's very powerful. Like, it's really quite amazing, because he can't weigh no more than $135. There's no way in hell. And yeah, I thought he was gonna break my door. Just about punching it, beating the shit out of my door. And then he's all mad. He's like, "What's this shit?" It's like I'm looking out for you, dude. And anyways, I have to go back in the story and tell you, I will harken back or do a callback to the fact that the cop cars are actually parked 4 houses down across the street. Those are the complainants. Though, I guess one of the people that lived there or was working at the bar where the trouble started. So when I signed that paper, I don't know why they're parked over there. It never occurred to me, like, why aren't they parked in front of the house if they're looking for him? They're parked over there, and the guy is pointing, you know. So I got a drunken, belligerent guy, Afghan war vet, and it's my responsibility as his custodian. He's in my custody to mellow him out when he can see. They got their porch light on. He can see at least the house. I can't see that far, but he's like, "Yeah, they're out there." I don't even know if they're out there. But he's like, "Yeah, they're out there," and he's like yelling stuff. I'm like, "Man, mellow it out. You don't want the cops to come back. Just mellow it out. Just be glad you're not in jail, man." And PTSD whispered him down. He's like, "I gotta go to bed." But he was getting worked up and yelling. He's like, making threats and shit. I'm like, I didn't know what I signed off on. Anyway, there's a story for you that happened last night. And this morning, this morning he's actually in a good mood. And I only saw him briefly because I said, "Man, I got stuff to do." Because I picked up the weights again, and my knee absolutely hates me for it. But you have to do it every day. My knee absolutely hates me in general, and I was a good boy today, and I made an appointment with my PCP, primary doctor, and I called Miller's. Well, I guess I didn't have to because I missed a message that they called last Friday But I told the doctor's person, write down, I want to know what's going on with the scooter paperwork, and after I made my appointment, and passed that on to him. So he got, hit up on Friday from the company, and he got hit up by me on Tuesday. So maybe that double whammy will work. And the bruise I got on me is still pretty colorful, but I don't know if it'll hang in there for another. Hopefully not for another 3 weeks when I have my appointment. But yeah, I got other things to do that I've been neglecting. Like, well, ever since the whole knee episode, where like I spent all those months trying to get that knee fixed, and I couldn't get nothing done with it, no matter what I did. I've been neglectful. That's why you always see me in glasses, or sometimes you'll see me take my glasses off and stuff. It's because I need to get in the eye doctor and get an eye exam. I need to take care of my 3 remaining teeth. And I've just been putting Ambisol on it as a matter of course. They're sensitive. I don't know, but I don't think I have any toothaches. But I did like chip a piece out, like in the front. I chipped the cap off in the front, right here. And I chipped a piece off down here. So, the dentist will be like, why didn't you come see us in December? You think I'm going to tell that tale? here, here, look up pork frog on YouTube if you want to waste several hours of your life listening to this horror movie of and actually comedic tragedy. Yeah, I found out about the bed bugs thing is like legally the dude has to spray the whole building. This is what this woman that works for was swearing to me up and down. She was like, call your caseworker about it. Well, my caseworker kind of already knows I had bed bugs, but maybe we didn't discuss the spraying thing. But the landlord has to spray the whole building, you know. So the fact that he only sprayed 2 rooms, she's like, well, they get chased into other rooms. I don't know if they're like cockroaches, but that's what happened with the cockroaches upstairs. Somebody brought them in upstairs and they sprayed them down into my house. That's where I got them. I'm just, really not even caring to the point where I'm like, was living with them, and then like I got good bait to take the best to take care of them. It's like, well, it's about time I start giving a damn about everything in general. So you gotta put like just little tiny dabs here and there throughout your house. That's that take it back to the nest stuff. That's like super effective, according to my buddy, the cop, who was on his 40th wedding anniversary to the Finger Lakes in New York. They wanted to go. They said they didn't want to waste what little vacation time they had on travel. They were going to go to Ireland or, go on some fancy trip and whatnot. They're like, man, they want to do all that traveling. Damn, I had another thing to tell you that's escaping me. Can't remember. Oh, it has something to do with Gerald. Oh, okay. My plan that I was keeping so secret and everything, it's like, it turned out not to be feasible, because if you like the first aid worker that I had come here, they're supposed to like help old people and crippled people and stuff, you know. I sat on the porch with her and I told her, I had a bed bug situation and whatnot. And she came in the house, which is against policy. I didn't spill the beans on her. And so she's like, I'll come in your house and clean, I'll just bring an extra thing of clothes. Well, I haven't seen her since. They sent different people out. I was like, where's M word lady? Her name begins with M. And I'm like, cause she said she'd actually come in here and do some of this much needed housework. My knee hurt like a bitch. So there's no dice on that. But she was the one that I had heard about this from my cop friend before. But if you ever have a problem with landlord, the boogeyman comes in a 6-letter word, and that letter word is escrow. You start putting your rent in escrow. Is that right? E-S-crow. It sounds. I don't care at this point. I can't count. We know this. Um, so, but what that does is they cannot raise your rent. You know, they cannot raise your rent, and they have to fix every little damn thing that's wrong with the property. Everything has to work. All the outlets have to be clean. Every dent in the wall must be smooth. I mean, these building inspectors are brutal. So this M-word lady, she was complaining about that, and she was like, uh, he won't get nothing done about it. It's like it's creating black mold and stuff. It's like there's a drip in it, and they have people come in, and nothing gets done, and nothing gets done. And that was the first time I saw her. I did see her more than once. Now that I'm thinking about it, yeah, I did saw because I had to have. Because the next time I said, how's that situation with your landlord? And she's like, we just threatened to put the rent in escrow, and it was fixed within a week. So, that is the boogeyman to the landlord, is that word escrow. Because that means not only are they not getting any money out of you, they're pouring money into their property, especially if it's a slumlord. There's problems with the wiring in here. There's holes in the ceiling that you've seen. There's the 8-foot hole in the wall. There's windows that are screwed up. There's a ton of stuff to fix in here. The problem is that my dumb ass, I'm on a month-to-month lease. So I was talking to my cop buddy about that, and he was you don't have like a year lease or anything. You have a month-to-month lease. He goes, yeah. And he said, well, you may need to change your plans because somebody that was on a month-to-month lease did that to my dad. And my dad was like, well, if you're going to put the money in escrow, I'm going to double your rent. So I was like, yeah, that sounds like something that Gerald might actually do. So, yeah, if that's even a possibility, I guess I can't do that. But that was my big revenge plot. That and just leaving the faucet running and hiking up the water bill. The main thing was the escrow thing, and also to make him evict me and to drag him through court and have police records. And I already got one signed statement from the neighbor. Get a bunch of signed statements around people about his character. Uh, but now I don't. I got a perfect. I never missed the rent. Like perfect tenant, man. Damn near perfect tenant anyway. I keep him apprised of what's going on in the building. Or used to keep him apprised of what's going on in the building. I still never miss my rent. Never leave. Never fuck around with the rent. Never like I'll give you 200 this and I'll give you 100 here and I'll give you 25 here. None of that bullshit, man. Just boom, stack of money. Boom, boom. Every month, stack of money. So I have a month to month. The guy that was face down on the cement with the zip ties on his hands, he's got a year lease. And I will leave you with that. And we will make this a short one. So, curiouser and curiouser.